Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. So I'm recording this on August the 3rd, and it can be watched whenever you find it, whether it is this week in 2021 or whether you're watching this in years to come. Every single year I do a video for what is called Lion's Gate, and I walk us through that particular portal. I actually had a look back on my channel, and I think there's about 5 or 6 different videos from previous years, which are probably all worth another look, because there's usually a meditation linked to them, certainly some sort of activation. This year, the guidance is very different from anything that I've had in previous years, and it's taken me a little bit by surprise. So I'm going to tell you what that's all about. And yes, it does link into the energy of Quan Yin, who I couldn't quite figure out why now, but now I understand, so I'm going to explain, and we're going to be sharing some powerful activation work linked into Quan Yin's energy, and we will also be walking through Lion's Gate in this video. As I say, you can watch it today. You can also watch it again on the 8/8 portal itself, which is August the 8th. And indeed, Lion's Gate doesn't actually officially close until August the 12th. But as I always say, time is not linear, so, bear that in mind as well. Just a quick little couple of lines about what Lion's Gate is, because to be honest, there's so much information online, you can easily Google it. But what I've got here, which I'm just going to read out, it's a layer of energetic opportunity which peaks on August the 8th, called the Lion's Gate. It's when the sun is in Leo and the star Sirius moves closer to Earth and aligns with Orion's belt. It opens every single year between July the 28th and August the 12th, but August the 8th is considered the official activation day. Now, this August the 8th, we have also got a new moon in Leo, okay, so it's going to be extra powerful. And I don't have to apologise for Bella, but I will just say she's probably going to bark quite a bit through this video. One, because we've got lion energy in the house, but equally we are currently in a 11-day quarantine in my home because my daughter's come down with COVID. So Bella's going a little bit stir crazy, and you're just going to have to bear with it. Thank you also for all your good wishes for Lucy and for all of us. I will just say this quickly. I'm keeping a little journal stroke diary through these 11 days. And I am recording down my thoughts, my feelings, things that are happening, healing, areas that are opening up, and I will bring all that through in a big video when we are through the other side of this, okay? But the thing about my household, even though we've got the virus in it at the moment, there is complete peace and calm, and there is no fear, and it's all as it's meant to be. I'm sure it's arrived at my door so I can bring through some teaching. So that will be in a week or so. I wanted just to get this video to you today because I promised it, and Lion's Gate is important to me, very important. And, Quan Yin was not going to have it any other way, that it wasn't going to happen. I want to say something. Last night I had a dream, and she appeared to me in a dream. I was going to say it's unexpected. I suppose not completely unexpected, because I knew I was going to be working with her energy this week. And indeed, on the 8/8 portal, yes, we are bringing through a new Ascended Master spray, which is a Quan Yin spray. A couple of weeks ago, we thought, yeah, let's release it on 8/8. It's been in the pipeline for about a year, to be perfectly honest. And then I started to worry and overthink it and think, yeah, but what's that got to do with Lion's Gate? All will become clear, my friends, because actually Quan Yin is coming in on the back of a lion. More of that in a moment. But anyway, yeah, I will just say this spray is not released until the 8/8. We are not a mass producer of sprays. Tracy's made about 200. They'll probably sell out in about an hour. Yes, we ship everywhere. Yes, I'll put the link below. No, we don't take pre-orders. But yeah, we're quite excited about her spray arriving. Anyway, back to last night and my dream. So I had the spray underneath my pillow. Let's just give it a little squirt. I had the spray underneath my pillow, went to sleep, and let me just recount my dream as I can remember it. So in my dream, I'm aware that I am lying down receiving some healing from a lady healer. I don't know who this woman is. It wasn't actually, well, Quan Yin was there. It wasn't Quan Yin giving the healing. It was a lady, a human being, giving me some healing. I was lying down. For some reason, I was in a room and there were many people watching me having this healing experience. Although I also realise now it was an activation and attunement, and others had to be present to see it. Now, the interesting thing about the people in the room was they all had, well, I was about to say war paint on, sorry, not Metron is here as well. What was actually happening was it was love paint. By that, it looked like Aboriginal, you know how Aboriginal people sometimes paint their face with markings? That's what it looked like. But they weren't all Aboriginal. They were all the people of all creeds, all colours, but they all had these colours all painted all over their face. That's why I'm calling it love paint rather than war paint, because it wasn't a war cry, it was a love cry. This is what the painting on the face symbolised. Anyway, they're all watching me lying down, receiving this healing. And then I felt it, physically felt it whilst I was sleeping. An extraordinary pressure on I thought it was my crown. In fact, it started at my crown. I'm going to bring this through for you as well later. Started at my crown, but actually it was also linked into my soul star chakra and my stellar gateway. So all of the 3 higher chakras, there was this explosion of white light. I could see a white ball of light hovering over my head, pristine white light. And then I heard the healer say to me, Quan Yin is here in the room. And at which point in my dream, I'm thinking, yeah, I know she's here because I can feel the presence at my crown. And I know Quan Yin is often depicted having a crown because it's linked into enlightenment, an enlightened one. We're being gifted a crown, this lion's gate, because we've done a lot of work. But anyway, being able to see the white light above my head was one thing, but then also being able to feel it was a whole other level. It was very intense, very expanding. And again, this voice came, and I'm paraphrasing this a little bit, but it was along the lines of, it's not quite the right words, but don't try and pin me down. I'm talking about her energy. What she was conveying energetically to me was the fact that her energy could no longer be contained, was so much more than we think it is, has so much more power than we've ever been led to believe. And waking up this morning, I was given the symbolism of a genie in a bottle. It was as though we have effectively rubbed the lamp and the Quan Yin energy is out of the bottle. Well, I suppose literally, yeah, but I'm also talking symbolically. And she wants to bring in this wave from east to west. The other thing, I'll talk about that in a moment. The other thing in my dream was that as I'm experiencing this sensation at my crown, I'm also aware that my body starts to do some rather strange things. Well, I do know that Quan Yin is said to have, she's depicted in many different ways, and she's linked into many different cultures. But she is sometimes depicted as having many arms, okay? Many arms and many eyes, and sometimes many heads as well. But in this dream, I think it was me. I think it was me that had all these extra arms. if it wasn't me, it was the healer. As I say, it's a dream and it's all a little bit blurry. But I was just aware of these long, slender limbs that were like, I wanted to say flailing out, reaching out for something, both reaching out for something to grab something to pull it back in, but equally letting go. It was very much about, the limbs were symbolic of letting go of what we no longer need, literally throwing it into the farthest pool of the cosmos, whereby it is transmuted into pure light. So we can call on her when we have anything that is troubling us. And oh God, this must be a bit of Metatron coming in as well, unless Quan Yin has a sense of humour, because I'm being shown now a baseball player. Are they called a pitch player? Where they get the ball and they throw it really high and wide and long. I suppose you'd have the same thing sometimes in football, but I'm seeing it more like baseball. Throwing it right out, you know, into the cosmos, where whatever we're holding, which is dense and challenging, gets transmuted into light. So when we are attuned and aligned into her energy, it's about many things, but it seems to give us the ability to let go more easily, which is one of the gifts that's coming in this Lion's Gate. That's why she's here. But equally to retrieve back from the cosmos that which we have lost, which is ours, and that which is us, which we need, ours, which we need now. There's also something about all these eyes. I wasn't seeing lots of eyes in my dream, but I do know she's also often depicted with many eyes. So this is also about being able to see further and wider than ever before, deeper than ever before, for a world that is struggling and can't see beyond the end of its nose, I'm hearing, okay? Now, so that was the dream, and then I wake up and it was just like, whoa, that was really profound. And I just knew that she was with me, wanting to work with me, and I'm hearing now is never going to leave me. Now, the fact that I'm saying this, it's not just about me, it's about the fact that I'm holding this energy to bring it to you so you can then hold it as well. These videos are very much portals in their own right and can work in that way. Also too, you know, the spray I think has got something to do with it, but you don't have to have the spray. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that we are unleashing an energetic wave here, and it's coming in with Quan Yin. Now, the other thing I want to say as well is that those of you that regularly watch my work, I think the last video or the last video before that, it wasn't the Avicii channeling, I think it was the one before that. I thought at that time that Lion's Gate was going to be about bringing down some sort of download and new software that we need. Now, I've actually got Metatron here as well as Quan Yin, because Metatron's saying that was not a mistake, because actually the new software that wants to come in, but I couldn't quite see what it was or how it was going to work, is this wave that Quan Yin wants to bring in, because she wants to bring it into our heart, which is what I'm going to be doing later in this video, well, when I've set the scene of what we are going to be doing. But the wave is linked into her core qualities of compassion and mercy, for a world that has it in very short supply at the moment. Many of us are becoming short-tempered, we're becoming very triggered, we're becoming very short-sighted. We can only see what we want to see, and we can only view the world how we want to view it. So it's as though the gift of compassion that comes in, we're then able to see through other people's eyes their experience of what we're going through at the moment, okay? So that is that. The other thing with regards to this wave, sorry, I know I'm just channeling very quickly here because there's just a lot coming through, is that it strikes me that her arrival, effectively, properly arriving with me, which was really last night, even though we've been doing this spray and thinking about the spray, and I've been saying I'm going to do it, and Tracy obviously has designed it as well, but I have to feel it. I have to be aligned to something to really be able to talk about it, otherwise I can't do it. So it's been these last 48 hours for me is when she's come in. And she's come in at a time, and it's so exquisitely perfect in many ways, when COVID has literally come into my house. And, well, I haven't welcomed it, but, you know, it's here. And so we will take the lessons of what it wants to gift us, and we will experience what we're meant to experience. And I will document what I'm meant to document to share with you. But the thing about Quan Yin as well is that one of the things she's about is that she's there to ease suffering. She's there to alleviate sickness. You call on her if you are sick. You also call on her for other things as well, but let's just look at sickness at the moment. The world has a sickness. The wave of this sickness, without getting into any of the politics, because that's going away from mercy and compassion, which this video is about, but, you know, the virus originated in the East. Quan Yin is all, you know, most of the myths and the legends, the mythology rather, and the legends, and her roots are in the East. Her roots are in many parts of Asia, but particularly China. So the virus that came like a wave from the East and from China, we now have Quan Yin standing up like the lioness energy that she is. She's a fierce protector of families, of women, of children, of men, of course, as well, of all humanity. She's heard the cries, she's heard the suffering, and she's here to bring back balance and to bring soothing energy, and I believe healing. I think there is, I think her energy is part of the missing pieces of the jigsaw to help, when I say rid the world of this pandemic, that's a big claim, but to get us back into a more balanced state so we can eventually start to live our lives again. Because the truth is we might have to learn to live with this virus, because viruses don't ever go anywhere. If you think about the cold or flu virus, it's always with us. This current one will always be with us to some degree, but we can alleviate the suffering of it, and we can learn to live with it and around it. And she can help us with that. I really feel that very, very strongly. So yeah, and you know, I've been talking about this east to west wave for 2 years now. I thought it was just 1 year, but I look back at my work 2 years ago. I started to talk about an ascension wave, which I felt was coming from east to west. Now, again, without getting into the politics of it all, I was talking about Australia and New Zealand. They're struggling a little bit energetically at the moment. Well, they're struggling a lot, actually. And I was looking to see, well, where's this wave gone? You know, we need it to come from the east. For some reason, it needs to rise in the east. Don't ask me why, just that's what I'm feeling. And I've been looking towards Japan, and obviously we've got the Olympic Games happening right now. And there is a flame, there is a light coming out of Tokyo and Japan at the moment. The world is watching Tokyo. There is also the beautiful mountain, Mount Fuji, in the background as well, lighting the way with that energy. But then we've also got China, and China's like the sleeping lion. And what I'm actually hearing is, and again, this is going to trigger some people, but you know, if you're on my channel, you know that I talk about unity consciousness all the time. We need to make friends with China. That doesn't mean, you know, I'm just going to say what I'm given. We need to make friends with China. What that means is making friends with the Chinese people. It means making friends with the average man and woman, family, child that lives there, the animals that live there, the land that is there. You know, take it away from politics. The people of China are not bad. The people of China are not our enemy. There is an extraordinary portal which, when it truly awakens and opens, is going to just transform the whole planet. But at the moment, we're all looking at China, a lot of people are looking at China in fear and as the enemy. And the more that we do that, the more it's going to become that. So out of the Chinese energy rises Quan Yin, like this beautiful goddess and enlightened being which she is, and brings something good, something bountiful, something about love to not just that country, to all of Asia and to all of us in turn. So this is big stuff. So I will just read, I haven't finished writing my little channeled message yet that goes with the spray, but I will just read what I've written so far, because it's quite a good introduction to those of you that don't know who Quan Yin is. Because, you know, if you're going to receive her wave and her blessing and walk through Lionsgate with her, we need to have a good idea of whose hand we're holding, okay? So Quan Yin is known, is a dearly loved ascended master. She's associated with many Eastern traditions and particularly revered in China, Japan and other parts of Asia, although is here for anyone, whatever creed we hold or place we live in our world. She is both a divine goddess and a Buddhist enlightened one who has chosen to stay to guide humanity here on earth. Her name means one who sees and hears the cry from the human world. And in Sanskrit, it also means born of the lotus. If you think of the lotus, it's symbolic of the chakras as well that we hold within our bodies. She's said to hear our cries and our prayers. She is a fierce but loving protector for all, with a focus on family, women and children. Sometimes depicted as possessing 11 heads. I've talked about those. And also the arms and the eyes. She encourages us to hold compassion and mercy for ourselves and others, and to practice self-care, and is said to comfort those who are sick, elderly, infirm, senile and bereft. She's said to watch over seafarers, farmers and crops and travellers. Interesting, the whole thing about travel being shut down in our world at the moment. So to be able to call on her to open up our world again so that we can travel, but yet with respect for Mother Earth. I do believe one of the lessons of the pandemic has been us looking at our consumption generally, and that would include how we travel, where we travel to, how frequently we travel, etc. But, you know, we want a world again where we can travel. Did I just say truffle? Travel and visit other places. There's something in that, truffle, because truffles, like you search for truffles, don't you? You know, I'm seeing now, is it pigs that scout around for truffles? I'm seeing an animal and it's like scouting around, it's trying to find the truffle. What is a truffle? A truffle basically is treasure. It's hidden treasure. It's the earth's bounty. So the treasure is to be able to travel and see our loved ones again and experience the world in a way that also respects the environment, I would say. Quan Yin is often depicted in long flowing white robes, upon or beside a lotus flower, carrying an earthenware vessel with water to soothe suffering. I've put one of those onto my little altar that I've got here. A good way to connect to any ascended master, if you want to bring their energy in, is to create a little altar to them, because that's a symbolic gesture to the universe. It's like an invitation. It's a letter that says, I'm ready to receive you in my home. I'm ready to receive you in my body. I'm taking this seriously. I will just say something about this little earthenware bottle that I've got here. This usually is on my Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary grid over there. And when I picked it up yesterday for Quan Yin, both of the Marys were sort of saying, yes, with pleasure, please borrow it. We all share the same water. We're all effectively doing the same job. And Quan Yin is often referred to as the Mother Mary of the East as well. So she has those similar qualities of love and compassion and an open heart. But yeah, so she's often depicted with the earthenware vessel, and it has water within it to ease the suffering and to bring healing to our world. Often she's also depicted with a willow branch, and willow is all about being able to bend, to be flexible. You know, if we're rigid in our mindset or our body, And of course, fear does that. Fear paralyzes us. Fear roots us to the spot, and we become rigid and unbending. You have to basically be like the willow tree and bend and yield and adapt, you know. So willow is also associated with her. She's often said to ride on the back of a dragon. Interestingly, you know, in the early centuries, she was always depicted as a man, but later is depicted more in female form, but has shown me that she can take on many different guises, many different forms, dependent on what the task is that she's being asked to do. And also probably very much like the angels, you know, sometimes it's about how we expect to see them. You know, they will show and reveal themselves to us in a way that is right for us and that we can understand. She's also said to care for souls in the underworld, and her whole thing is about seeing suffering and humankind's suffering and trying to alleviate it. So can you see what an amazingly beautiful energy this is for us right now? And then if you add in the energy of Lionsgate, new moon in Leo, and this 8-8 portal, and think about 8-8. 8 is abundance. 8 is infinity. Okay, 8 is success. 8 is wealth. Wealth in not just in terms of money, it's wealth of spirit, wealth in terms of health, wealth in terms of peace of mind. You know, this is big. This is really, really big, this energy which is coming in this week. And we are blessed. We are so blessed that she is here. I'm so excited that she is here. Right, I'm just going to read you a couple of lines that I've written. I haven't finished it, but just so you can see where my mind is going with all this. So far, what she said to me, she says, "Let me hold you and soothe you in my healing waters, washing away that which is wrong and bringing into balance that which is not. Allow me to help you as you help others, to remind you of the importance of a soft heart and a soft stance in body, mind and soul, to not allow the world or personal circumstances to harden and betray you, but to keep your heart wide open and to work always from there. To be guided by me is to help you to see the best in yourself and others, to show compassion and love to all, to see each person as a reflection of the divine and part of you. By demonstrating love and mercy in your words, thoughts and deeds, you carve a path of righteousness that others can follow and adapt. This path is laden with gold and fallen petals, fragrant with my scent, and open to all who strive to be a better person, to create a more loving planet, to leave it more enhanced than you found it, to have walked with grace and touched each portion of the life you led with beauty." It's quite nice just like that, actually, but I think there's maybe a few other lines which will come in after I've made this video for you. So, let's see where we want to go now. I'm going to just show you a couple of the things that I've got here that help me link into her energy. I'm going to pull a couple of cards, which are themes linked into the Lion's Gate. And I've also got a beautiful poem to read to you, which somebody has sent in for me, for you. Let's just start with this picture which I found. So yeah, you know, I'd sort of grown up knowing not a lot about Quan Yin, to be perfectly honest, but equally knowing that she was known to ride on the back of a dragon. And yeah, I have got my little dragon here as a nod to that. But I was seeing her on the back of this lion, but it did look like a Chinese lion, you know. And I thought, is that such a thing? Is she associated with that? So I Googled it, and yes, she is. Now, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. So, you know me, I'm always getting my pronunciation wrong. H-O-U, is the mythological creature, which looks a bit like a lion. I believe it's a Buddhist mythological creature. I might be wrong there. But anyway, H-O-U, lion. Now, this isn't necessarily a who, but this is a lion. This is a statue. I mean, look at that. That apparently is in Vietnam. It's in Vietnam, apparently. Let me just see. Did I find out where it was in Vietnam? I might have... it doesn't matter if I didn't. No, I've just closed it down, so never mind. But anyway, this apparently is some beautiful statue in Vietnam. I mean, if I put that closer, can you see the strength of that? I mean, the lion, which is just like, you know, that means business. Okay, that lion means business. It's in full roar. It's in full love cry. It's like, I'm hearing thy will be done. God's will be done. She's also very synonymous with the animal kingdom and being able to correct imbalances within the natural world. So again, can you see, in the natural world, we have this virus at the moment, okay? So being able to balance out the natural world and its inhabitants and creatures. But I also just love the look of her on this lion. I mean, she's serene, she is peaceful. She also has this air there about, I've got this. It's like, I've got this. It's like spiritual maturity, total spiritual maturity, which is what you would expect from somebody who was offered enlightenment and being able to get off the wheel, you know, the wheel of incarnation. But she chose to not do that and to stay for us. So she's an enlightened one that has stayed with us. I've also got this beautiful painting of a lion that somebody has sent in. Cindy sent that in. So we can't get enough of the lion energy, so let's just draw that, pull that into us. In terms of crystals, now, a couple of interesting crystals. Rose quartz is a given for her because of the energy of love. And yeah, I've got a rose quartz Quan Yin here, which is rather beautiful. I've had that for quite a few years, actually. Oh, my hands are shaking. Sorry, the energy's just really high here. I'm trying to ground. In fact, I probably do need to ground, which is why I've got copper. Okay. Thank you, Kathy, for sending me in this piece of copper, which is actually really heavy and absolutely perfect for conducting energy, but equally for grounding. So I'm going to hold that. I also think that the Archangel Sandalphon energy is very good as well. I think we need that. So let's just pull that out. Because Quan Yin is known as the one who listens to our prayers, but equally Archangel Sandalphon is also one who carries prayers to heaven. And I feel as though I want Sandalphon here as well in this. So let me just spray the bronze because it's going to help me to ground. And of course I need Sandalphon. We need Sandalphon because we're going to be working with the very high chakras, Quan Yin bringing that through, but then it has to be rooted in the Earth Star. Sandalphon is associated with the Earth Star chakra, which is beneath our feet. Okay, copper and bronze, so that's great. We need to put those onto our grid to ground us. Got my rose quartz lion, showed you him probably every year. He's magnificent, isn't he? I love him. But the crystal that surprised me, guys, was this one. Shattuckite. I always feel like I'm swearing when I say that. Shattuckite, in all seriousness. This is quite an important crystal. And hold on a minute. I wrote down some qualities. Right. So again, linked into sickness and trying to get us back into full health. Shattuckite, I'll write the description of it below because obviously it's a funny one you won't necessarily be able to spell it. I certainly couldn't. It's said to stimulate cell division, repair DNA, and healing that has come from genetically transmitted diseases, including radiation damage. It brings courage and inner strength. Shattuckite is also, I mean, the reason I've always had it, I didn't know about those qualities. The reason I have always had it is it's a very good crystal to help you channel. And so I just thought that's the reason why she wanted it on her grid. Helps me to channel her. But I actually think it's also linked into, my left ear is ringing as I'm saying this, so that's left side of the body is the feminine, that's her just connecting with me. She's saying it's a very valuable tool at the moment to help rid our body of disease. Okay, let's just say disease. So that could be one for you to look into. Let me just see if I can get anything from the actual crystal itself that it wants to say. So the actual crystal, Shattuckite. Okay, it's got a bit of a sense of humour, this one as well. I mean, like attracts like. I do have a sense of humour, so things around me, including crystals, do tend to like to have a laugh. God, the world needs a laugh, because it's saying, you know, thank you for noticing me eventually, Amanda. What it means is that I have pigeonholed it to just being a crystal for channeling, and it's saying I'm a powerful master healer. It's wanting me to look at its colour, and it's showing me its veins. It's talking about its veins. And it's also it's wanting to show itself. I hope my camera is focusing in. I can't see whether it is or not. But also on the back of it, we've got what looks like cells. It looks like cells replicating. So this seems to be linked into, as I've just read, cellular regeneration, cooling the fires within the body, linked into, for example, fever. It's linked into the cooling waters, which are within Quan Yin's urn. Okay. Something about veins. Oh, of course, it's veins. Of course, it's about veins. Okay, one of the things obviously associated with what we're going through at the moment is deep vein thrombosis. Okay, so it's to do with visualizing these colours flowing through our veins. If you think about our veins, they're obviously pumping red blood, and when we get a clot or a thrombosis, the blood gets obviously thick, sticky, and I'm being shown it as a darker colour. I think I'm right in saying that, because my mum has her blood tested regularly because she's on warfarin, and when it's thin it's very light coloured, and when it's thick it goes all a very dark colour, almost like reddy brown. So when you're in danger of getting a clot, your blood is more of this reddy brown colour. I'm just seeing it as thick reddy brown colour. So what you need to be doing in that instance is imagining these beautiful colours, which are actually the colours of the sea. It's like the deepest turquoise, but it's mottled, it's marbled, there's something about imagining swimming on the bottom of a seabed and picking up the coral. I'm also being shown coral. Coral and turquoise and teal and the greens are what you need to be imagining flowing through you if you are unlucky enough to be experiencing that type of problem. Okay, so that's what that crystal wanted to say. All right, thank you for that. That's the second time I've done it today. I keep putting my hand into the flame. So there's something here about, oh, we're having to walk through the flames, she's saying. We're having to walk through the flames. This Lion's Gate is about walking through the flames. Right, I'm going to read you a poem now, and then we're going to get into whatever's meant to come through for Lion's Gate in terms of her walking us through it. Right, okay. Let me just focus. In fact, guys, I'm going to have to take a break. Hold on, I'll be back in 2 minutes. That's better. Comfort break. In all seriousness, take a comfort break if you need to before we go on. This energy is quite high. So, and also have some water. Let's all just have a little bit of water before we proceed. I'm hearing the importance of spring water. Right, I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I've already pulled 2 yesterday. I'll show you what they are. And then we'll pull 2 more. Then we're going to do our poem, and then we're going to go into meditation, stroke visualization, stroke walking through the gateway together. Right, yesterday, these cards, by the way, are ones that were sent in to me by a lady called Ivana Novosek. The Mandala Vortex Energy cards. I'll put the link below. The 2 that came out yesterday when I asked what this Lion's Gate was all about was we have the energy of abundance, and we also have the ether element, which is linked into pure energy. So, I mean, that looks very Lionsgate to me. The reds, the golds, the oranges, colours of the lion. And then we have master number 33, pure energy. Ether, the fifth element. So that's what we got yesterday. All very good, all very bountiful. And it also feels as though it's a breath of fresh air what wants to come in. It's as though I'm being shown stagnancy at the moment in the world, in many of our lives, in mindset, it's as though we've got to a place, humanity has got to a place where we can't see the wood for the trees, we can't see the way out of our current predicament. We are focusing on worst case scenario sometimes because we're in fear. So it's as though this breath of fresh, pure energy wants to come in, bringing and reminding us that the universe is an abundant, beautiful place. And it rides in on the back of Quan Yin and the lion. Right, let me pull two more cards from the same deck for today as I'm recording this for you. So just linking into your energy, please, Quan Yin. Two more messages, please, to lead us into our next segment. Freedom and independence. And I'm going to take that one. Passionate love and sensuality. Oh, okay. Right. Wasn't expecting that one. I mean, to be honest, that one was poking its head out of the pack like that and I pulled it. I'm going to have to pull it. It's just that that's a whole other video in itself because I also wanted to take the one on the bottom, which probably goes a little bit more. Well, no, of course it goes with passionate love, joy, of course it does, but it also, I wanted to put freedom and joy together. Okay, this is what we've got. Stop trying to shirk the message, Amanda. Okay. What do you want to say about passionate love and sensuality then? Let's see what she wants to say about passionate love and sensuality. I mean, she's shown me straight away the fact that she is both male and female. And to be able to achieve the highest state of enlightened bliss via sexuality, there has to be a balancing of the male and female within oneself rather than looking for it from another. She's talking about consensual sex, which should be a given anyway, but the fact that it isn't a given in much of our society, you know, we're getting into the big subjects such as rape and sexual violence and abuse. And I'm now being shown that when we walk through this gateway, that we take with us those that are abused or, you know, I just want to say abused, who have been abused sexually via non-consensual sex, that are so traumatized and betrayed by either their own sex or a member of the other sex, that they can't summon the strength to be able to walk over the line. So we help them. Having mercy and showing mercy for those that are brutalized and have been shown the opposite of that. So putting that with freedom. It's a bit Mary Magdalene coming in as well. There's a Mary Magdalene energy here as well. So I always associate Mary Magdalene with the emancipation, is the word I'm hearing now, of the female body vessel, to be and do and behave as she wishes to, without any fear of, I keep hearing the word brutalization, which comes from a damaged male psyche, which comes from a damaged male patriarchy, which comes from a damaged male history. Of course, women can be abusers as well. But I'm feeling as though this wave that Quan Yin wants to bring through and is bringing through this Lion's Gate is linked into freedom and joy for all. No doubt linked into what we're going through with pandemic and reclaiming our freedom and sovereignty and independence there, but equally being able to claim back our own bodies and be free with that, and to bring joy and happiness into this whole energy. So yeah, okay, let's put that there onto our grid. I wasn't expecting that message to be there, but that seems to be what she's saying. If we look at this image again, strong, female, empowered energy. This feels like a male lion, female energy, balanced. Okay, I'm going to read the poem now that somebody sent in, and then we'll get to our next bit, meditation, whatever it is going to be. So this was sent in by a lady called Joanne. I'll say Joanne K. I don't know if you want your full name put on YouTube, but anyway, you're on Facebook. Your page on Facebook is called The Fairy Wordsmith. The Fairy Wordsmith, and this poem is called When the Lion Roars. Somebody is making a hell of a racket outside my window again, but we're just going to have to go with it, guys. I could just close my window. Let me just do that. Hold on. Slightly better. Not really. Right, When the Lion Roars. I sat beneath the velvet sky, its dazzling diamonds shining bright, when suddenly they configured and rearranged before my sight. Now above me, a mighty lion, glowing with majesty. The power of its presence felt energetically. Each spark within his golden mane held a message for humanity, of justice, courage, truth and strength, and spiritual royalty. I knew for certain, having witnessed this miracle in the sky, that all adversity would be overcome in the blinking of an eye. For the lion is at one with all of nature, the sun, the stars, the moon. When the lion roars, and it appears that it will be very soon, the frequency will clear away anything not of light. Love will be all that remains. All will be put right. Nothing can stop what is coming, not by any mortal man, though some may think they're invincible and believe they truly can. So when the lion roars, make sure your heart is good and true. Be brave and sovereign with every passing day, and your freedom will ensue. Okay. I'd like you to ideally be barefoot. So if you're able to take off your shoes and your socks and be barefoot, that would be ideal. If you can't do that, don't worry, but you could just imagine your feet bare. So I'm just going to give you a couple of moments just to focus on your feet and to feel your feet on Mother Earth. And in particular, if you have got naked feet, to be able just to flex each toe, flex the sole, flex the heel, feel the arch. Just focus on your feet. And we welcome in Quan Yin's energy. And I'm being shown as standing before a pool of water. It's a holy pool of water. It's not a big expanse of water. It's just a small little pool. And you're just being asked to step into it. It's very, very shallow water. And it has smooth white stones underneath the water, which is crystal clear. And we appear to be wearing some sort of robe, a white robe, male and female, both wearing the same outfit. And we are just gently lifting the robe so that it doesn't get wet as we put our feet into the water. And the water is going up to our ankles. It's warm. It's inviting, and it contains within it salt, which is purifying and cleansing the feet, and in turn sending that cleansing energy up through the meridians of the body, the soles of the feet being linked into all of the different organs in our body, and the meridians, the energy channels. And it's as though our feet in this holy salted water are being cleansed externally, but then the cleansing energy is also rising up through the body and just doing what it needs to do. You're now stepping out of that water and your feet are being dried by a person who is kneeling on the ground, and they are drying your feet with a white fluffy towel. And this is representing humbleness, that somebody is washing your feet and helping you to dry them. And they are crouched in front of you, drying your feet. But then they look up and you see their eyes. You might recognize this person and it might surprise you who it is. Or they might be the eyes of an ascended master, an angel, a child, an elder. Could be anybody. It's very personal to you. The towel is put to one side and they take your hand and you have a staff in your hand and they have a staff in their hand. And they seem to be somebody who is tasked with the job of walking you towards the Lion's Gate. And this is actually a gate. And it is in the distance. We're not quite there yet. We're on level ground, smooth ground. There is a stone path that we are following with this guide. And we're just taking steps towards a gateway in the distance, which is made of white marble. It's huge, it's magnificent. And as you take steps towards it, you find that the one who was walking with you may very well leave your side. They were just there to get you started on the path towards this moment where we arrive at the Lion's Gate together. The air is very still. There are some birds in the sky. There is a warm breeze. but it's a temperate climate. There's very little around this land and this place where we are. There's very little dwellings or houses or people. It's as though we're somewhere set aside from the hubbub of everyday life. We're away from our normal place and residence. And we are in this holy land, this holy place, a simple path leading up to these marble white pillars and huge gateway. Above the gateway, as we get nearer to it, there is just the presence of white lights, huge white lights, blinding white lights. And overlighting the energy of this particular gate is the energy of Quan Yin. It's as though her energy is held within the pillars on right and left. Her energy is within the archway itself that joins those two pillars. And the white light all around this simple structure is hers. And you fall to your knees in front of the gate because you are humbled by the light, by the sheer majesty, by the love, by the humility, by the mercy, by the all-encompassing compassion and love that you feel at this place. You are asked to rise and stand. There is no need to be on your knees. You are asked to let go of any guilt that you are holding. Things that you've done, things that you've said, ways that you've behaved, times when you've judged, times when you have angered, times when you have misunderstood, times when you have caused division. All of these are aspects of what it is to be human. Quan Yin appears in the portal itself, in the gateway, and she stands tall, dressed in white, simply robed, barefoot, a crystal crown upon her head. And she says to you, "Why are you so hard on yourself?" Be compassionate for the human condition. Be compassionate for yourself. Be compassionate for who you are and forgive yourself. You are loved, very loved, divinely loved, and we do not judge you. Let go of the judgment that you hold about yourself. You feel a weight being lifted from your shoulders. I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in and out in one moment together. And we will let go of the guilt and the blame and the judgment that we hold within ourselves, to ourselves and to others. Taking a deep breath in and out. Taking a deep breath in and out. Tuning into your heart energy. Allow it to open. Note your feet still upon the earth, standing. And then feel the energy of Quan Yin as she touches the top of your stellar gateway. Above your head, white lotus flower energy, or a white ball of light, however you wish to envisage it, hovering above the top of your head. And then allow that white light to flow down through your chakra system, down through your soul star, your crown, down through your third eye, down into your altar major, your throat. White light down into the higher heart and the heart. White light down into the solar plexus and the sacral. White light down into the base chakra, flowing all the way down each leg, into your feet, into your earth star. Feeling a beautiful cocoon of white lights enfolding you in a beautiful egg shape. Feeling the peace of that. And this white light holds the energy of mercy and of compassion. And you take the qualities of mercy and compassion into every cell of your body, into every organ, into your eyes, into all of your senses, into your feet. Compassion for yourself, compassion for your fellow man, compassion for all living things upon this planet, the animal kingdom, the stone kingdom, the elementals, all races, all creeds, all countries, our leaders, no one left out. No one left out. Breathing that in, that possibility of total compassion and love. And these two qualities, as well as mercy, can transform our world, can transform you, can transform me, can transform our children, can transform this planet. We let go of hate. We let go of aggression. We let go of division. And as we do so, a white robe is placed around our shoulders, and she gives us each a willow branch, symbolizing the importance of adaptability, being able to yield and listen to each other, to be flexible to not be rigid. Love is not rigid. Love is supple. Love is flexible. She turns and encourages you to walk through the huge white marble gateway with her. And as she turns, you see the lion beside her. And in fact, I'm now seeing 2 lions. She's the 3rd lion. There are 3 lions. There are 4 lions. You are one of them. 2 white lions either side of her. She also holding the energy of lioness, and you too holding that energy. And the 4 of you embodying the qualities of the lion: courage, strength, determination. Walk through the huge marble pillars together. And as you do so and you reach the other side, there are many that are welcoming you. There are many that are welcoming us. There are many lions there. There are many people and beings there who hold this lion energy, who are leaders, who are prepared to stand up for what is right, to lead the charge towards New Earth in a battle cry of love. And it will be heard. It will be heard. It will be heard. And it will be done. It will be done. It will be done. You are asked to stand, to look around you, to feel yourself taller and stronger and mightier. Mightier than the sword, not needing a sword to fight, having the energy of love within every cell of your body, and knowing that that is enough. That is more than enough. That is what transforms the world. It's what transforms you. It's what heals you. And now with us, the other side of the gate. Quan Yin once more goes out towards the entrance of the gate, knowing that we are safely the other side. And she now has another job to do. And we are just watching the power of her energy. And she has what looks like a wand, but I don't think it is a wand, but it's like a cross between a staff and a wand. And she's just holding it out to the planet, to the earth. So she's standing between these 2 columns. And let's just focus this on China. And she's bringing her attention and focus to China, to Asia, to the eastern half of our world, to Russia. And commanding, I'm hearing commanding a wave of energy across the whole planet from east to west. And this wave is the energetic wave linked into compassion and love. See the whole world enveloped in that. the whole world upgrading this Lion's Gate. The seeds being planted, the seeds flowering in the hearts of many men and women and children. This is truly an awakening moment for our planet. And as the birds sound in the distance, the oldest, amongst the oldest inhabitants of our beautiful planet, who've watched every change and every wave, generation after generation, decade after decade, millennium after millennium, the birds herald in the call to new earth. We thank the Lion's Gate portal and the energy for helping us, for upgrading us, for gifting us what it has gifted us today. And I'm now being shown like a bird's eye view. It's as though we're just zooming out. And it's as though there's a part of us that's always left in that beautiful, holy space beside these white pillars. And it's an aspect of us that always can hold the energy of compassion, mercy and love. And we can always return there to refuel our tank when we are falling short of our own expectations. There is always an invitation back there. It doesn't leave us. Lovely. Okay, so now just come back, take a nice deep breath in. I'd like you once again just to focus on your feet. We're going to count to 5. And then we will recenter, realign with wherever you are now, whichever room you're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath in and out, and open your eyes. Feel your feet upon the floor, give them a wriggle. The last 2 cards that have come through are forgiveness and the water element. There's a big part of this which is to do with forgiving ourselves, which is why we went through that holy pool at the beginning. Forgiving and letting go. And when we've forgiven and let it go, we're more able to change. Look at that. We're more able to change as a species. Ourself. It's all good, guys. It's all good. Okay, so how are you all doing? Let me know. That felt big. Let's just wrap it up with a few practical details just to get us back down to earth. So, Lion's Gate 8/8. I wish you a good one. I'll be thinking of you on the day. And as I say, remember it doesn't actually close until the 12th of August, but time is not linear. You can watch this any time that you need to. I think I'd like to maybe just reread this very short poem again. It might be a nice way to end. The spray that I featured today is the Quan Yin Mercy and Compassion Spray. I love the fact that we put it in this beautiful lime green bottle as well. Lime green is all about growth, and it's the divine feminine, and it's new beginnings, and it's seeding the new, and it's joy. Shares a bottle with the Hope Spray as well. It's the same colour as the Hope Spray. And also I was using the Archangel Sandalphon Spray in this video to ground us. Let me just put some on my own feet. That'd be good. So all of the links should be below. I'm just going to end by just reading this poem one more time to close us out. And I'd thank you very much. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. So, when the lion roars, I sat beneath the velvet sky, its dazzling diamonds shining bright, when suddenly they configured and rearranged before my sight. Now above me a mighty lion, glowing with majesty, the power of its presence felt energetically. Each spark within his golden mane held a message for humanity, of justice, courage, truth and strength, and spiritual royalty. I knew for certain, having witnessed this miracle in the sky, that all adversity would be overcome in the blinking of an eye. For the lion is at one with all of nature, the sun, the stars, the moon. When the lion roars, and it appears that it will be very soon, the frequency will clear away. Anything not of light, love will be all that remains, and all will be put right. Nothing can stop what is coming, not by any mortal man, though some may think they're invincible and believe they truly can. So when the lion roars, make sure your heart is good and true. Be brave and sovereign with every passing day, and your freedom will ensue. Take care, guys. I love you all very much. Thank you so much for all of your support. I'll be back as soon as I'm able to. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.